Lord Jesus, thank you for another blessed new day. You have opened your eyes, and that alone is already a gift. Breath is in your lungs. Time has been placed in your hands again. Before you rush into plans, before you measure the day by outcomes or results, you are invited to pause and recognize this truth. This day did not come because you earned it. It came because God is faithful. It came because mercy spoke on your behalf while you slept. It came because grace decided you were still needed, still being shaped, still being prepared. Many people wake up believing a quiet lie. The lie says that success is proven by speed, that growth must always look impressive, that if God is with you, things should move quickly and smoothly. But that belief quietly pressures the soul. It creates restlessness. It teaches you to measure your life by comparison instead of obedience. The truth is gentler and deeper. God is not rushed, and His work in you is not shallow. What matters most is not how fast you move, but how faithfully you walk. Ask yourself honestly, have you ever mistaken movement for progress? Have you ever been busy but not aligned? Have you ever chased achievement while neglecting obedience? This new day is not given so you can prove yourself. It is given so you can walk with God again. Not your will, but His will. Not your timing, but His timing. That is where peace begins. Growth in the kingdom often happens where no one is watching. It happens beneath the surface. Think of a seed placed into the soil. Once it is buried, it looks like nothing is happening. The ground is quiet. The seed is hidden. Yet inside that darkness, work is happening that no eye can see. Roots are forming before fruit ever appears. Strength is built in silence. Stability is shaped in hidden places. Your life is no different. God often works on what will hold you before He reveals what will be seen. You may be asking for visible change, but God is shaping invisible character. You may be praying for doors to open, while God is strengthening your ability to walk through them without losing your soul. This is not delay. This is design. Not your will, but His will. Preparation is not punishment. Preparation is alignment. God does not bring you into seasons you are not ready to carry. When preparation feels slow, it is often because the calling is heavy. Timing is a spiritual law. Just as fruit ripens in its season, your life unfolds according to divine order. If fruit appears too early, it is bitter. If responsibility comes too soon, it can crush the heart. This day is part of your preparation. Even the ordinary moments. Even the small tasks. Even the quiet prayers spoken under your breath. Day by day, God is aligning your heart with His timing. Day by day, obedience builds capacity. Day by day, trust deepens. Ask yourself, are you trying to arrive early, or are you willing to be made ready? Pressure reveals what is already inside the heart. When life presses you, it does not create character, it exposes it. When things are easy, many can speak about faith. But when the weight increases, the heart is revealed. Consider the believer who loses a job but chooses honesty over bitterness. In that pressure, faith becomes visible. Or the parent who carries exhaustion quietly while still choosing patience and prayer. Pressure did not weaken their faith. It revealed it. This new day may bring its own pressures, decisions, responsibilities, unexpected challenges. But pressure is not your enemy. It is a mirror. It shows you where you are still learning to trust. It shows you where obedience needs strengthening. Not your will, but His will. When pressure comes, ask God what He is revealing, not just what He is removing. Focus is sacred stewardship. Your attention is not accidental. What you dwell on shapes what you become. Distraction slowly drains spiritual strength. Obedience requires focus. Not frantic attention, but steady devotion. When you focus on what God has placed in front of you today, you honor Him. When you scatter your attention across fear, comparison, and noise, your strength is divided. This day does not require you to manage everything. It invites you to be faithful in what is assigned. Ask yourself, what has God clearly placed in your care today? One task, one conversation, one act of obedience. Focus there. Treat it as holy. Not your will, but His will. Growth follows a simple but demanding path. You learn, then you apply, then you examine, then you correct. And then you remain faithful. Many want growth without examination. But reflection is a gift. It allows you to notice where pride has crept in, where fear has influenced decisions, where discipline has weakened. Correction is not condemnation. It is guidance. Discipline is not driven by emotion. It is sustained by faithfulness. You will not always feel motivated to pray. You will not always feel strong, but discipline says, I will remain, I will show up, I will obey, day by day. Faithfulness is quiet, but it is powerful. Patience is strategic. It understands seasons. There is a season to plant and a season to wait, a season to water and a season to harvest. If you dig up seeds too early to check progress, you disrupt growth. Waiting is not inactivity. It is trust in process. This new day is part of your season. Perhaps it is a planting day. Perhaps it is a watering day. Perhaps it is a waiting day. Whatever it is, God is present in it. Reflection keeps your heart soft. Humility keeps you teachable. Correction keeps you aligned. Spiritual momentum builds slowly, like interest that compounds over time. One obedient choice strengthens the next. One faithful morning shapes the evening. Day by day, obedience creates rhythm. And rhythm creates endurance. Breakthrough is not an event you stumble into. It is a daily walk with God. It is choosing Him again this morning. It is saying, Lord Jesus, thank you for another blessed new day. I place this day in your hands. Not my will, but your will. Shape me, lead me, prepare me. As you step into this day, remember that you are not behind. You are being formed. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. And even now, God is working in ways you cannot yet see, teaching you to trust His pace, His process, and His presence. Let your heart remain open, because this day still has lessons to teach, and grace to reveal, and quiet strength to impart, if you will walk slowly enough to receive it. Let this understanding settle into you as the morning unfolds. The gift of a new day is not only about opportunity, it is about alignment. God is aligning your heart again. He is giving you space to listen, space to obey, space to become. Many people rush past this moment. They hurry into noise. They hurry into worry. They hurry into self-effort. But wisdom begins with stillness. Wisdom begins when you acknowledge, Lord Jesus, thank you for another blessed new day, and I will not waste it chasing what you have not assigned. There is another quiet, false belief that often hides in the heart. It says that if you are faithful, life should feel easy. It suggests that struggle means failure. But faith was never meant to remove effort. Faith gives meaning to effort. Faith anchors effort in purpose. Jesus never promised comfort as proof of obedience. He promised presence. Not your will, but His will. That prayer reshapes how you see hardship. It teaches you that difficulty can be a classroom, not a punishment. Think again of the seed. The soil presses around it. Darkness surrounds it. Moisture softens it. Pressure breaks its outer shell. Without pressure, the seed would never open. Without darkness, roots would never know where to grow. In the same way, God allows certain pressures to shape you. Not to harm you, but to open you. Not to diminish you, but to direct you. Growth is rarely loud. It is steady. It is faithful. It is hidden until the right time. Ask yourself, what pressure am I under right now? Is it financial? Is it relational? Is it internal? Instead of resisting it, ask what God may be forming in you through it. Patience, courage, consistency, humility. Pressure reveals the heart, but it also trains the heart when you remain obedient. Preparation always precedes elevation. God prepares the heart before He expands the influence. He prepares the habits before He increases responsibility. Many people pray for open doors, but few pray for the discipline to walk through those doors well. This day is not random. It is part of your preparation. Every conversation, every task, every moment of restraint. God is watching how you steward the small. Timing belongs to God. You cannot rush what requires maturity. Fruit that ripens too fast lacks depth of flavor. Faith that matures too fast lacks endurance. That is why waiting is not wasted time. Waiting builds trust. Waiting deepens roots. Waiting strengthens reliance on God instead of self. There are moments when obedience feels repetitive. You pray again. You choose integrity again. You forgive again. You stay disciplined again, day by day. And sometimes you wonder if it matters. It matters more than you know. Obedience compounds. Faithfulness multiplies. Spiritual momentum builds quietly. Consider the believer who chooses to pray each morning before touching a screen. No one applauds, no one notices, but over months, clarity increases, peace deepens, discernment sharpens. Or the worker who chooses honesty when cutting corners would be easier. That obedience protects the soul. These are not dramatic moments, but they shape a life. Distraction is costly. It steals focus and drains strength. Focus, when offered to God, becomes worship. When you focus on what is in front of you, you are saying, Lord, I trust you to manage what is beyond me. Focus is not about control. It is about stewardship. What has God entrusted to you today? Guard it. Honor it. Give it your best attention. The growth path remains steady and unchanging. You learn, you apply, you examine, you correct, and you remain faithful. Learning without application produces pride. Application without examination produces stagnation. Examination without correction produces guilt. Correction without faithfulness produces fear. But when all are held together by obedience, growth becomes balanced and strong. Discipline is faithfulness practiced daily. It is not dependent on how you feel when you wake up. Some days you feel strong. Some days you feel weary. Discipline says obedience will not wait for emotion. Discipline says God is worthy even when motivation is low. This kind of discipline builds spiritual muscle. It trains the heart to respond to truth instead of impulse. Strategic patience understands seasons. There is a time to speak and a time to be silent. A time to act and a time to wait. A time to lead and a time to learn. When you honor seasons, you protect your soul from frustration. You stop fighting the process. You stop comparing your season to someone else's harvest. Reflection is a gift that many neglect. When you reflect, you allow God to show you where adjustment is needed. Reflection keeps you humble. Correction keeps you aligned. Humility keeps you teachable. Pride resists correction. Faith welcomes it. Ask yourself regularly, where can I grow? Where can I adjust? Where can I listen more closely? Spiritual momentum does not arrive suddenly. It is built through repeated obedience. One prayer leads to another. One act of forgiveness leads to freedom. One choice of restraint leads to strength. Day by day, over time, obedience becomes a lifestyle, not an effort. Breakthrough is often misunderstood. Many imagine it as a sudden moment where everything changes, but in truth, breakthrough is a daily walk with God that slowly transforms how you live, how you think, and how you respond. It is waking up and choosing alignment again. It is saying, Lord Jesus, thank you for another blessed new day, and I will walk with you through it. This day invites you to trust God's pace, to honor His process, to rest in His presence. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are being shaped with care. God is attentive to the details of your life. Even now, He is guiding you step by step. As the hours move forward, return to this posture. Not your will, but His will. Let it guide your decisions. Let it calm your thoughts. Let it shape your expectations. When distractions arise, refocus. When pressure increases, remain faithful. When waiting feels long, remember the harvest. Day by day, God is building something in you that will last. Something rooted, something steady, something aligned with His purpose. This new day is not just another day. It is another opportunity to walk in obedience, to grow in faith, and to trust that God is working even when you cannot see it yet. And as the sun rises and sets on this day, may your heart remain anchored in gratitude. Lord Jesus, thank you for another blessed new day. Thank you for patience that teaches me to wait. Thank you for discipline that teaches me to remain. Thank you for grace that meets me again and again. I choose to walk with you today, trusting that every step, no matter how small, is part of something eternal. Let this truth stay with you. Faithfulness today prepares you for tomorrow. Obedience now shapes fruit later. And God, who began His work in you, is faithful to continue it. One quiet, obedient day at a time.